The morning sun shone bright over Oak Hills Park. Lisa Wells walked with her golden retriever puppy Buddy. The small dog pulled on his leash, eager to explore the world around him. Lisa smiled as she watched him sniff at a patch of grass. "Easy. There, Buddy," she said, tugging gently on the leash. Lisa was a captain in the Earth Defense Fleet. Today was her day off, and she wanted to enjoy the simple pleasure of walking her new puppy. She wore normal clothes, jeans, a blue t-shirt, and a light jacket. The only hint of her military job was her straight posture and alert eyes. The park was quiet this morning. A few people jogged on the paths. Some kids played on the swings. Birds sang in the trees. It was peaceful. Then the sky changed. A shadow fell across the park. Lisa looked up and felt her heart skip. A massive ship, unlike anything made on Earth, blocked the sun. It was dark gray with strange lights along its sides. The ship was as big as 10 football fields put together. People began to scream. The joggers stopped. Parents grabbed their children and ran. Cars in the nearby street crashed into each other as drivers looked up instead of ahead. Lisa did not run. Her military training kicked in. She stood still and watched the ship. Buddy barked at the strange object in the sky. "Quiet, Buddy," she whispered, picking up the puppy. Her mind raced. First contact. After years of wondering if aliens existed, here they were. And they had come in what looked like a warship. The giant ship stayed in place. Then a smaller craft broke away from it and headed toward the park. This smaller ship was about the size of a bus. It made no sound as it descended. Lisa could have called her commanders. She could have run to safety. But something made her stay. Perhaps it was duty. Perhaps it was curiosity. Whatever the reason, Captain Lisa Wells of the Earth Defense Fleet became humanity's first greeter to aliens. The small ship landed on the open grass about 50 feet from Lisa. The ground did not burn. The grass did not catch fire. The ship just touched down gently like it weighed nothing. A door opened on the side of the ship. A ramp extended to the ground. Lisa held her breath. Buddy squirmed in her arms. The alien that walked out was tall, at least 9 feet. Its skin was scaly like a lizard's but with a metallic sheen that caught the sunlight. It had a head shaped somewhat like a dinosaur's, with a long snout and yellow eyes with vertical pupils. It walked on 2 legs and had 2 arms, but there the similarity to humans ended. Behind this first alien came 4 more, each wearing what looked like armor. They carried objects that Lisa guessed were weapons. The first alien, clearly the leader, looked around the park. Its eyes settled on Lisa, the only human who hadn't run away. The alien touched something on its wrist. A small device floated up from it and hovered near its mouth. When the alien spoke, its voice was deep and raspy, but the floating device translated into English. "I am Commander Zkevorth of the Vraxian Dominion. Your planet is now under our protection. Resistance is futile." Lisa set Buddy down but kept a firm grip on his leash. She stood straight, the way she did on her ship when addressing superior officers. "Am Captain Lisa Wells of the Earth Defense Fleet. Welcome to Earth. Perhaps we should discuss this diplomatically." The alien made a sound that Lisa realized was laughter. It sounded like metal scraping against stone. "Diplomacy? The Vraxians do. Not negotiate with lesser species. You will submit or we will unleash our beasts of war upon your cities." Buddy, excited by the new visitors, suddenly pulled hard on his leash. The small golden puppy broke free and ran toward the aliens, his tail wagging happily. "Control your attack, beast," Zkevorth shouted. The aliens behind him raised their weapons, pointing them at the puppy. Lisa felt fear spike through her. "No, don't shoot. He's harmless." She ran forward and scooped up Buddy before he could reach the aliens. The puppy squirmed and tried to lick her face. "Attack, beast?" Lisa said, confused at first. Then she understood. The aliens thought Buddy was some kind of weapon. She couldn't help but smile. "You mean this cute pup?" Commander Zkevorth looked confused. The device translated his words again. "That is not a war beast? It shows its teeth and tried to attack us. Lisa shook her head. He's wagging his tail. That means he's happy. The teeth you see is just a smile. He's a puppy, a baby dog. He wants to play with you, not attack you. The aliens looked at each other. They spoke in their own language, which sounded like clicks and hisses. The translator was one way, so Lisa couldn't understand them. Finally, Commander Zuckforth addressed her again. You keep infant predators as companions? Yes, Lisa said. Dogs have been human friends for thousands of years. They help us hunt, protect our homes, and keep us company. They're loyal and loving. The concept seemed to confuse the aliens greatly. They talked among themselves again, their voices rising. Commander Zuckforth stepped closer to Lisa. She held her ground, though the alien towered over her. If this is how humans treat potential threats, turning them into allies, perhaps we have misjudged your species, he said. Lisa saw her chance. Commander, I suggest we arrange a meeting between your leaders and ours. There's much we can learn from each other. The alien considered this. Very well. I will inform my superiors. You will inform yours. We will meet again. Lisa nodded. Thank you, Commander. As the aliens turned to go back to their ship, Lisa quickly pulled out her phone. She had to call Admiral Porter right away. First contact had been made and it had almost gone very wrong. But thanks to a golden retriever puppy, Earth might have just gained a little time to prepare for whatever came next. As the alien ship lifted off, Lisa looked down at Buddy. Good boy, she whispered. You might have just helped save the world. Buddy responded by licking her hand and wagging his tail even harder. News of the alien encounter spread fast. Within hours, the whole world knew about the Vraxian ship and Commander Zuckforth's meeting with Captain Lisa Wells. TV stations showed blurry videos taken by people hiding behind trees in the park. The golden puppy Buddy became an instant celebrity. At Earth Defense Fleet headquarters, Admiral Sam Porter paced back and forth. The large meeting room was filled with military leaders, scientists, and government officials. Lisa sat at the table. Buddy sleeping on her lap. Let me get this straight, Admiral Porter said. These aliens thought your puppy was some kind of weapon? Lisa nodded. Yes, sir. They called him an attack beast. They seemed truly afraid of him at first. Dr. Olivia Green, the top xenobiologist, leaned forward. This tells us something important about their world. If they mistake a puppy for a war beast, their planet must be very dangerous. All creatures there are likely threats. Or they've never seen anything like dogs before, added General Paul Rogers. Either way, we need to be careful. They still have that massive ship hanging over our planet. Admiral Porter stopped pacing. Captain Wells, since you've already made contact, we're appointing you as our ambassador to the Vraxians. You'll go to their ship and start talks. Lisa's eyes widened. Me, sir? I'm not a diplomat. No, but you're the only human they've spoken to, and they seem interested in your pet. The Admiral looked at Buddy with a mix of disbelief and hope. Am I taking Buddy with me? Lisa asked. Absolutely, said Dr. Green. He may be our best chance at showing the Vraxians that humans aren't a threat. 2 hours later, Lisa stood on the landing pad, wearing her formal uniform. Buddy sat beside her, freshly bathed and wearing a small Earth Defense Fleet collar. A shuttle was coming down from the Vraxian mothership to pick them up. Lisa's phone rang. It was her friend Kate. Are you really going up to that alien ship? Kate asked, her voice shaking. Yes, Lisa replied. Someone has to, and they already know me. Be careful, Kate said. The whole world is watching. The shuttle landed and the same aliens from the park appeared. Commander Zuckforth nodded at Lisa. You bring the small predator, he observed. His name is Buddy, Lisa said. And yes, I thought you might want to learn more about him. The ride to the mothership was silent and tense. Buddy slept in Lisa's lap, unconcerned about making history as the first dog in space to meet aliens. The inside of the Vraxian ship was strange. The halls were taller and wider than human buildings. The light had a greenish tint that made everything look odd. The air smelled like cinnamon and metal. Lisa was led to a large room where several Vraxians waited. They all looked similar to Commander Zuckervorth, but with subtle differences in scale color and the shapes of the ridges on their heads. "This is our war council," Zuckervorth explained. "They wish to understand why humans keep predators in their homes." One Vraxian stepped forward. "I am Science Minister Tiklarin. We have been watching your planet's broadcasts. Your kind keeps many dangerous creatures as pets." The word seemed difficult for the translator to find. Lisa nodded. "Yes, dogs are the most common, but people also keep cats, birds, fish, and many other animals." The science minister made a gesture, and a screen on the wall lit up. It showed videos of people with their pets, children hugging large dogs, cats sleeping on beds, people feeding treats to their animals. "Your young touch these beasts without fear," Tikalarin said, pointing to a video of a small child hugging a Great Dane. "Are your children training to be warriors?" Lisa almost laughed but caught herself. "No, Minister. Our pets are domesticated. That means they've lived with humans for thousands of years. They don't want to hurt us, they're our friends." The Vraxians looked at each other in what seemed like disbelief. Commander Zuckforth spoke next. "On our world, all non-intelligent life is dangerous. Nothing can be trusted. Everything wants to eat you." For the first time, Lisa truly understood the gulf between their species. "That sounds like a hard place to live." "It made us strong," Zuckforth replied. "But your world, it made you different." Lisa decided to take a risk. "Would you like to meet Buddy properly? He won't hurt you." The Vraxians moved back slightly. Only Commander Zuckforth held his position. "I will observe this creature," he said. Lisa set Buddy down on the floor. The puppy looked around the strange room, tail wagging. Then he spotted the aliens and trotted towards them with typical puppy curiosity. The War Council members backed away further. Commander Zuckervorth stood still, though Lisa could see he was tense. Buddy reached the commander and sniffed at his feet. Then the puppy sat down and looked up, tail sweeping the floor. "He wants you to pet him," Lisa explained. "Pet?" The word seemed new to the commander. "Like this." Lisa knelt and stroked Buddy's head gently. The puppy leaned into her hand, clearly enjoying the attention. "It's how we show affection to our animals, and how they show they trust us." Commander Zuckervorth watched closely. Then, slowly, he extended one large, scaled hand toward Buddy. The puppy sniffed it, then licked his fingers. The commander pulled back sharply. It attacked with its tongue. "No, that's a kiss," Lisa said quickly. "It means he likes you. It's a good thing." The other Vraxians were watching in amazement. "Commander," Zuckervorth looked at his hand where Buddy had licked it, then back at the puppy. "Your species lets predators lick your face," he said, sounding disgusted. "Is this some form of dominance ritual?" Lisa smiled. "Not dominance. Friendship. Dogs have been our companions for thousands of years. They help us hunt, protect us, and give us emotional support." "Emotional support?" The alien commander seemed puzzled. "Yes," Lisa explained, picking Buddy up again. "Humans form bonds with animals. We care for each other. When you pet a dog, it makes both you and the dog happy." The science minister moved closer. "This behavior releases pleasure chemicals in your brain?" Lisa nodded. "Yes, exactly. Petting animals reduces stress. It's healthy for us." The Vraxians spoke among themselves in their clicking language. Lisa waited patiently, stroking Buddy's fur. Finally, Commander Zuckforth turned back to her. "We came to your world believing humans were soft prey, easy to conquer. But now I see that your softness may be a different kind of strength." "What do you mean?" Lisa asked. "Your species tamed predators instead of just killing them. You turned potential enemies into allies." The commander looked at Buddy thoughtfully. "This suggests a way of thinking very different from our own." Lisa saw an opening. "Perhaps we can learn from each other. Our differences might make us stronger together than apart." Commander Zuckforth nodded slowly. "Perhaps we will need to study this more. You will stay here as your planet's representative." Lisa felt a mix of fear and excitement. She was now officially humanity's ambassador to an alien species, and all because of a golden retriever puppy who wasn't afraid of 9-foot lizard people from space. "Thank you, Commander," she said. "I hope this is the beginning of friendship between our worlds." Buddy barked once, as if in agreement. The sound echoed in the alien ship, strange but somehow hopeful. 3 days after Lisa Wells arrived on the Vraxian ship, Admiral Porter received a message. The aliens wanted to see more of Earth's war beasts and how humans trained them. The Admiral knew exactly where to take them. Early the next morning, 5 Vraxian shuttles landed at the National Canine Training Center in Virginia. Commander Zickvorth stepped out first, followed by 20 Vraxian warriors. Each alien stood at least 9 feet tall. Their scaled skin gleamed in the morning sun. They carried ceremonial weapons that looked both ancient and advanced. Lisa was there to greet them, with Buddy sitting obediently at her feet. The puppy had grown a bit in the past few days. Admiral Porter stood beside her, along with Sergeant Frank Wilson, the center's head trainer. "Welcome to Earth," Admiral Porter said. "We're honored to show you our K9 training facility." Commander Zuckforth nodded stiffly. "We are curious about your methods of controlling these dogs. On our world, taming any creature is nearly impossible." Sergeant Wilson stepped forward. "If you'll follow me, I'll show you what our dogs can do." The group walked to a large training field. Several trainers stood ready with different breeds of dogs: German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, and Rottweilers. All the dogs were alert and focused on their handlers. "These are working dogs," Sergeant Wilson explained. "They're trained for special jobs. Some find drugs or bombs, some track missing people, some help police catch criminals, and some serve with our soldiers in combat." The Vraxians watched with interest. Commander Zuckforth spoke to Lisa quietly. "These are larger than your Buddy. Are these the adult form?" "Yes," Lisa said. "Buddy is still a puppy. He'll grow bigger, though not as big as some of these dogs." Sergeant Wilson signaled to the first handler. A German Shepherd named Max ran through an obstacle course, jumping over walls, crawling through tunnels, and climbing ladders. The dog moved with perfect precision, responding instantly to voice commands and hand signals. "Impressive," one of the Vraxian warriors said. "The beast obeys without question." "It's not just obedience," Sergeant Wilson corrected. "It's partnership. The dog wants to work with the handler. They trust each other." The next demonstration showed how dogs could find hidden objects by smell. A trainer hid small items in the field, and a Belgian Malinois named Scout found each one within minutes. "Our sense of smell is poor compared to dogs," Lisa explained. "They can smell things we can't even detect." The Vraxians seemed amazed by this. Their own sense of smell was apparently even worse than humans. The most dramatic demonstration came next. A trainer dressed in thick protective gear played the role of a criminal. A Rottweiler named Rex was commanded to chase and subdue him. The dog ran at full speed, leaped into the air, and knocked the man down, holding him by the arm until commanded to release. The Vraxian warriors stepped back, hands moving to their weapons. Commander Zuckforth's eyes narrowed. "Now I see the beast we expected," he said. "This one is truly dangerous." Sergeant Wilson nodded. "Rex is highly trained for protection work. But watch this." He signaled to the trainer, who stood up and removed his protective gear. He called Rex to him. The powerful dog, who moments ago had looked fierce and dangerous, now trotted happily to the man, tail wagging. The trainer knelt and hugged the dog, who licked his face. "One moment a weapon, the next a pet," Commander Zuckforth observed. "How is this possible?" Lisa smiled. "Dogs have different modes, I guess you could say. They know when to work and when to play. They can be fierce, protectors, and gentle friends, like your soldiers," said the commander, looking at Admiral Porter. "Yes," the Admiral agreed. "Exactly like our soldiers." The final demonstration involved a search and rescue dog named Bella. The small border collie worked through a simulated disaster area, finding and alerting to victims hidden under rubble. "This little one could save many lives after an earthquake or building collapse," Sergeant Wilson explained. "Dogs like Bella work for hours without stopping, driven by their desire to please their handlers and the joy of the search itself." The Vraxians talked among themselves, clearly impressed by what they'd seen. Commander Zickforth turned to Admiral Porter. These are exceptional animals, but surely they are not your most fearsome weapons. Why show us these partnerships, as you call them? Admiral Porter glanced at Lisa, who nodded slightly. Commander, I'd like to show you something else. The Admiral said, if you and your warriors would follow me. They walked to a viewing platform overlooking a large valley. At first, the valley looked empty. Then Admiral Porter spoke into a radio. This is Admiral Porter. Begin demonstration. The ground trembled. From behind a hill came a line of tanks, their treads crushing everything in their path. The metal monsters rolled forward, their large guns swiveling. Behind them came armored personnel carriers. Above, the air filled with the roar of jets as fighter planes streaked across the sky. Artillery pieces fired, sending shells arcing through the air to explode with thunderous booms on distant targets. Attack helicopters swooped low, firing missiles that turned targets into balls of flame. The Vraxians watched in silence. Even Commander Zickforth seemed stunned. These are our beasts of war, Admiral Porter said quietly. The dogs are our friends. For a long moment, no one spoke. The display of Earth's military might continued in the valley below. Finally, Commander Zickforth turned to Admiral Porter. I begin to understand. Understand what? Asked the Admiral. Why you can afford to show kindness to predators, said the alien. Your species has created its own predators, ones far more deadly than anything nature could produce. Lisa stepped forward. It's not that simple, Commander. Yes, we have powerful weapons, but our connection to dogs isn't about being able to afford kindness. It's about who we are as a species. The commander studied her face. Explain. Humans evolved as social hunters, Lisa said. We survived by working together and by partnering with other animals, especially dogs. Cooperation is in our nature as much as building weapons is. The alien commander looked back at the military display, then at Buddy, who sat calmly at Lisa's side. A species that treats actual predators as beloved companions yet builds such mechanical monsters. Commander Zickforth's voice trailed off. Then he straightened to his full height. Your world is not what we expected, Captain Wells. Is that good or bad? Lisa asked. The commander made the metal scraping sound that Lisa now recognized as laughter. It means our initial assessment was wrong. We thought humans would be easy to conquer because you waste resources caring for other species. Now I see that your capacity for both kinship and destruction makes you formidable. Admiral Porter smiled slightly. Then perhaps we should continue our diplomatic talks. There's much our worlds could learn from each other. Commander Zickforth nodded. Yes, I must report to my superiors. Our approach to Earth must be reconsidered. As the aliens returned to their shuttles, Lisa knelt and scratched Buddy behind the ears. The puppy leaned against her leg. Good job, boy, she whispered. You and your kind might have just saved humanity from a war we didn't want. Admiral Porter joined her. Do you think they'll back off? Lisa watched the shuttles rise into the sky. I think they're starting to see us clearly, and that's a good start. Over the next few weeks, Earth and the Vraxian Dominion began to form a careful relationship. What had started as a potential invasion turned into a cultural exchange. The huge Vraxian mothership still hovered in orbit, but now smaller shuttles went back and forth regularly, carrying scientists, diplomats, and cultural experts. Lisa Wells remained the main point of contact. Her apartment was now fitted with special furniture to accommodate Vraxian visitors. The ceilings had been raised, and the chairs were reinforced to hold their weight. Buddy, growing bigger each day, had become used to the strange visitors. He no longer barked when they entered the room. Today, Lisa was hosting a special meeting. Commander Zickforth had brought a team of Vraxian xenobiologists who wanted to study the human-dog relationship more closely. Please come in, Lisa said, opening her door wide. 4 Vraxians ducked their heads to enter the apartment. Commander Zickforth introduced them. This is Science Minister Tikalaran, whom you've met, And these are researchers Kraval, Miztep, and Dunzar. Lisa nodded to each one. Welcome to my home. Can I offer you anything? Water? Tea? The aliens looked confused. Science Minister Teklaran spoke. We do not require nutrition at this time. We are here to observe the interaction between you and the small predator. Buddy? Lisa corrected gently. His name is Buddy. Yes, Buddy? The minister repeated, the name sounding odd through the translator. We wish to understand how this relationship functions. Lisa sat on her couch. Buddy immediately jumped up beside her and put his head on her lap. Lisa stroked his fur, automatically. What would you like to know, she asked. The researcher named Kraval stepped forward. Our scans show that when you touch the Buddy, both your brain and the animal's brain release similar chemicals. Why do you engage in this behavior? Lisa thought about how to explain something that was so natural to humans. It feels good, for both of us. Petting a dog is calming. It reduces stress. Stress? Asked Ms. Tepp, the female researcher. What causes stress in humans? Many things, Lisa replied. Work problems, relationship troubles, money worries. Life can be difficult sometimes. The Vraxians looked at each other, then back at Lisa. Commander Zekforth spoke. On our world, the only stress is survival. Each day is a battle against predators and rival clans. That sounds hard, Lisa said. She couldn't imagine living in such constant danger. It is our way, the commander said simply. But your way, it is different. The scientists continued their questions. They wanted to know how dogs were trained, how they were fed, where they slept. Lisa answered as best she could, sometimes calling on her computer to show videos or images when words weren't enough. May we see other types of human-animal relationships? Asked Dinzar. Lisa nodded. Of course, I've arranged for you to visit a few places tomorrow. An equestrian center where people ride horses, a cat cafe where people go to spend time with cats, and an aquarium where marine animals are studied and displayed. The researchers seemed pleased with this plan. But Commander Zekforth had more questions. Your ability to communicate with these creatures without language is remarkable, he said, watching as Buddy responded to a hand signal from Lisa by lying down. It suggests a form of empathy our species has never developed. Empathy isn't weakness, Lisa explained. It's how we build trust and cooperation. It's why we've survived despite not being the strongest or fastest species on our planet, the Ray. Commander's yellow eyes studied her. On our world, showing vulnerability means death. We evolved without the luxury of trust. For the first time, Lisa saw the Vraxians not as frightening aliens but as products of their harsh environment. Perhaps that's why your people chose conquest rather than cooperation with other worlds. Zekforth nodded slowly. Conquest was survival, but observing your species, perhaps there are alternatives we never considered. The room fell silent. Buddy, sensing the mood change, got up and walked over to Commander Zekforth. The alien tensed but did not move away. The golden retriever, now almost full-grown, sniffed at the commander's hand, then nudged it with his nose. He wants you to pet him, Lisa said. To her surprise, Commander Zekforth slowly extended his scaled hand and placed it on Buddy's head. The dog leaned into the touch, clearly enjoying it. The other Vraxians watched in amazement as their leader touched the earth. Creature with gentleness. I feel something, the commander said softly. When the fur moves under my hand, it is pleasant. Lisa smiled. That's the beginning of connection, of trust. That evening, after the Vraxians had left, Admiral Porter called Lisa. How did it go? He asked. Better than I expected, Lisa replied, watching Buddy sleep in his bed. I think they're starting to understand us a little. Good, said the Admiral, because we've received a message from the Vraxian High Command. They want to establish formal diplomatic relations with Earth. They're sending a delegation of their highest leaders. Lisa felt a rush of excitement and worry. That's huge. Do they still see us as a potential conquest? Admiral Porter's voice was serious. I don't know. But what you're doing, showing them our relationship with animals, our capacity for empathy. It seems to be making an impression. Keep it up. The next day, Lisa took the Vraxian scientists to the places she had promised. At the equestrian center, they watched in awe as humans rode on the backs of horses weighing over 1,000 pounds. On our world, mounting a creature would mean it would try to eat you, Science Minister Taklaran observed. Horses and humans have worked together for thousands of years, Lisa explained. They carried us into battle, helped us farm, and transported us before we had cars. At the cat cafe, the Vraxians were puzzled by the small, independent animals that seemed to decide when they wanted attention. These creatures do not obey like the dogs, Ms. Tepp noted as a tabby cat walked away from her outstretched hand. No, cats are different, Lisa agreed. They're more independent, the relationship is more on their terms. But it's still a partnership. The most profound reaction came at the aquarium. The Vraxians stood transfixed before the large ocean tank, watching as divers swam with sharks and rays. These water predators could easily kill the humans, Commander Zekavorth said, yet they do not. The aquarium director explained. We've learned to understand their behavior. We don't threaten them, and they generally leave us alone. Some species can even be trained like these dolphins. They watched as dolphins performed tricks with trainers, leaping and spinning in the air before returning to take fish from human hands. Incredible, whispered Kraval. The diversity of relationships your species has formed. On the ride back to Lisa's apartment, Commander Zekavorth was quiet. Finally, he spoke. Captain Wells, tomorrow I must return to our mothership to meet with our high command. They will ask me if humans are a threat or a potential ally. Lisa felt her heart beat faster. And what will you tell them? The commander looked at her, his alien face unreadable. I will tell them that humans are unlike any species we have encountered. You see the universe differently than we do. You seek connection where we see only danger. You offer trust where we would show force. Is that good or bad? Lisa asked. It is educational, the commander replied. My people have much to learn from yours, and perhaps you have things to learn from us as well. As they reached her apartment, Commander Zekavorth turned to Lisa once more. When I return, would it be acceptable for me to pet Buddy again? Lisa smiled. Of course. He'll be looking forward to it. For the first time, she saw what might have been a smile on the alien's reptilian face. Progress, she thought. Slow but real. 6 months passed since the day the Vraxian ship first appeared over Oak Hills Park. Now the massive mothership hung in Earth orbit like a new moon, visible to anyone who looked up at night. But instead of fear, people now felt curiosity. The aliens had not come to conquer. They had come to learn. Today was special. The Vraxian ship was preparing to leave Earth orbit. A new treaty had been signed between humans and Vraxians. They would share technology, cultural knowledge, and help each other explore space. Other alien species, once afraid of the Vraxians, now sent messages to Earth, asking to establish contact. Lisa Wells stood in the observation room of the International Space Station. The large window offered a perfect view of the Vraxian mothership and the smaller shuttles moving between vessels. Buddy, now fully grown, sat beside her. The golden retriever had his own special spacesuit for his visits to the station, though he didn't need to wear it inside. Lisa watched as Commander Zekavorth approached her. After 6 months, she had learned to read his alien expressions a little better. He seemed thoughtful today, perhaps even sad. Our preparations are almost complete, the commander said. We will depart in 12 of your Earth hours. It's been an interesting 6 months, Lisa replied. When you first arrived, I thought we might be headed for war. Zekavorth made his metallic laughing sound. My superiors thought the same. They sent us to assess Earth for conquest. Instead, we found something unexpected. What was that? Lisa asked. A strength we did not know existed, the commander said. My people have always believed that power comes from fear and dominance. We never understood the strength that comes from trust and cooperation. Lisa smiled and looked down at Buddy. It took us a long time to learn that lesson too. Admiral Porter entered the room. He nodded to Commander Zekavorth. The final documents have been processed. Our alliance is now official. Good, the commander said. My superiors were skeptical at first. They thought I had gone mad, suggesting alliance instead of conquest. But our analysts now predict better outcomes through cooperation than domination. Sometimes the strongest position isn't the one where you stand alone, Lisa said. The admiral checked his watch. The press conference starts in 20 minutes. Are you both ready? Lisa nodded. This would be the formal announcement of the Earth-Vraxian alliance. Billions of people would be watching. Before we go, Commander Zekvorth said, I have a request. He gestured, and one of his aides stepped forward carrying a small container. The aide opened it carefully. Inside was a small creature, about the size of a house cat. It had iridescent scales and large, curious eyes that blinked in the station's bright light. This is my offspring, Zekavaz, the commander said with pride. I wish to leave him in your care, Captain Wells. Lisa's eyes widened in surprise. Your child? You want me to raise your child? The commander nodded. For 1 Earth year, then we will return. I want Zakavaz to learn what our species cannot teach. What's that? Lisa asked, still shocked by the request. Empathy, Zekvorth said simply. Trust. The ability to form bonds with those unlike oneself. When we return, Zekvaz will help guide the next generation of Vraxians toward understanding, rather than conquest. Lisa looked at the small alien creature. It tilted its head, studying her with intelligent eyes. I'm honored, she said finally, but I'm not sure I know how to raise a Vraxian child. You will learn, as I have learned about humans, the commander said, and I have prepared detailed instructions about his care and feeding. The commander looked down at Buddy. And perhaps you could provide how do you say it? A puppy. They should grow together. Admiral Porter cleared his throat. This would be an unprecedented diplomatic arrangement, but it could strengthen our alliance in ways nothing else could. Lisa knelt down to get a closer look at the small Vraxian. Zekavaz reached out a tiny clawed hand toward her. Without thinking, Lisa offered her finger. The little alien grabbed it gently. Hello, Zekavaz, she said softly. Looks like you're going to be staying with me for a while. Buddy approached carefully, sniffing at the container. The small alien hissed slightly but then reached out toward the dog with curiosity. Careful, Lisa said automatically. He's just a pup himself. Commander Zekvorth laughed, the sound warmer than it had been 6 months ago. Indeed. And from such small beginnings, perhaps we unleash something greater than either of our species has achieved alone. Admiral Porter smiled. I think this calls for a change to our press conference. The birth of the first interspecies family deserves special attention. As they prepared to announce the historic alliance to the people of Earth, Lisa watched Buddy and Zekavaz studying each other with caution and interest. 2 species from worlds light years apart, beginning to form a bond. She thought back to that day in the park, when a golden retriever puppy had run toward aliens with nothing but friendship in his heart. How different things might have been if Buddy had growled instead of wagged his tail. Sometimes the greatest weapons are kindness and understanding, she said quietly. Commander Zekvorth nodded. And sometimes, what looks like a beast is really a friend waiting to be discovered. The news cameras would soon broadcast this moment throughout human space and across the Vraxian dominion. The image of a human, a dog, and a small alien child would become the symbol of a new era, a testimony to the unexpected strength found not in fear or conquest, but in the simple capacity to care for those unlike ourselves. Buddy wagged his tail, as if he understood the importance of the moment, and perhaps he did. After all, he was the one who had shown an alien commander that sometimes what you unleash isn't a beast at all, but the beginning of peace.